So, yeah. um, throughout this journey, I think I've been hearing the word timeless a lot when it comes to tarot readings. And the impression that I got and the understanding that I got from it was that it's considered timeless because we're all on different time paths, I guess. We're all on different paths. And so there's no certainty in terms of when things will occur because there's a lot of factors involved. Some of those being human choice, right? Our own free will, and just the whole ripple effect. Actually, this was in a Stephen Hawking's book. I started reading that, and he was explaining that piece of it, that theory, the whole butterfly effect concept. But anyways, with the tarot readings, it seems like some of these readings could happen, within the week. Some of them will kind of make notice to track, how the month goes, or mid-month readings. And then there's some that do like a daily message, some specific to signs. And so, when you get caught up in something like that, if there isn't a balance with the information that you're receiving, it really can drive you a little crazy. And so I know I've shared that before if you've seen some of the other videos. And I think just with this new chapter, this new cycle, I really wanted to capture that a little bit more, because I really felt like this last one that I was just so focused on making the right choices for this future outcome that my heart was in, that I realized it was taking me away from the present moment. And so anyways, I really was hung up on that, and really wanted to change that, let go of it. I read somewhere about this concept of living in the past, present, and future all at once. Where, if you want to look at your past, look at where you are right now. If you want to look at your future, look at what you're doing right now. So it's this mind-blowing concept of living in the past, present, and future all at once. And because I'm trying really hard to create more of a balanced energy within myself, being more intentional with starting with my thoughts and my beliefs, I really felt like that was something I needed to let go of. So this morning's meditation was really nice, peaceful. Actually, last night I slept more than 2.5 hours, so I was so happy about that. But the morning meditation was really nice too. And I think the last video I talked about how I was seeing this like I was going backwards almost, right? This whole concept of moving backwards, feeling like I was taking steps back. Well, this morning it actually was the opposite. It was I was moving forward in the meditative state, what was standing out for me. And so it was reassuring that I was making the right choice, and just the things that I was letting go of. But I did do my morning shuffle, and I got the Tower, which I have not received before. And I remember in some of my old videos, I had talked about the tower moment and just kind of, it didn't sit well with me. You know, I really felt strongly about, like, if there was another way, is there another way to create a tower moment that isn't so dramatic or hurtful, you know, with the lightning and striking and causing a fire. And this one, you can see it, the lightning on the left side signifying the past, and then the fire is kind of, and the smoke is going towards the future, right? And then the eye, the all-seeing eye at the top, is standing out. So it actually is linked with Mars, according to the little booklet, associated with healing, renewal, and destruction of old forms. If we do not release ourselves, the pressure will mount until something erupts. The Tower of Babel indicates misleading speech, chaos, or opening the eyes. Lightning releases us from delusions and illuminates wisdom, mysteries, and structure. Fire burns away the old forms and useless conditions. The Eye of Horus evokes the Egyptian god of perception, realization, and clairvoyance. The Hebrew character Pe is a symbol of the mouth and represents communication, which is down here in the corner. So this was the challenge that I was supposed to be aware of, that I was supposed to learn from and give my love and compassion to. Well, it's 8:16, and I didn't feel like I had a tower moment today. In terms of communication, there definitely were moments today during work where there was a sense of an opening of the eyes. We had a all-staff meeting, not all-staff, administrative meeting, so all the supervisors and program managers. And there's this continued theme at work amongst us, amongst just the agency as a whole, of people really struggling with this whole COVID situation, really struggling with adjusting to the changes, with loss after loss after loss, right? I'm one of those people struggling. And even though we're all clinicians, we all still struggle with being vulnerable, being opening our hearts really to each other. And again, I remember mentioning it before, this whole separation between work life and home life, right? And not really, even though we work in the field of emotions, it's not something that we also embrace. And I can't speak for other agencies, but just within our agency, and I have experienced it in other agencies, where there's still a sense of taboo of making space, making time to really sit with that discomfort and allow other people to join us in that process. So I was really grateful today when a colleague of mine opened her heart. And I felt the energy, I felt the sorrow through the Zoom sessions, and just everyone else who was sharing that was also struggling. I was so grateful to them for that, because we really, it is something that, we needed at that time, but I think as a society, we need to really embrace that a little bit more. But anyways, I'm going off topic because that was totally not what I had planned to talk about. So back to the tarot shuffle. So, in terms of the tower moment, I really feel in terms of just communication, right? How we're all experiencing some type of lightning situation that's causing our world to shift, to really, just to really shift. And how we look at that lightning, right? The perception, is that one of those things in there? Perception? Yeah, the delusion, the perception of, the Eye of Horus. The realization, right? that some of us are struggling more than others. Some of us are not wanting to really relinquish and surrender to that process. And so it's like the lightning keeps trying to strike, and this building is trying to shake, but it won't fall because of the resistance. And I shared with the group, because we took the time to kind of connect with each other after what was shared to see if anyone had words of support. So I shared what I was going through and how it felt for me, how I had to hit rock bottom. I had a lot of moments where I was like devastated and I couldn't even function at work, and I was an emotional wreck, and that allowing that to happen was helpful in me starting to feel and regain a sense of balance. So that was the challenge. I didn't really feel it was much of a challenge, or maybe it's more of the past and what I'm embracing. But then when I asked for a second card for not clarification, but just, yeah, I think it was clarification. Sorrow. 3 of Swords again. And remember, this one was Saturn in Libra, grief and negative thinking. 3 swords pierce a heart-shaped cloud, revealing painful thoughts concerning love and the trinity of the family, man, woman, and child, or a choice that breaks the heart. So again, I really feel like for me, both of these were in the past, and maybe that's why, or maybe it's something I'm still going to struggle, or maybe it's timeless and it has not happened yet, which I'm not looking forward to. So I know I mentioned for some of you that I bought an oracle deck, and so this is the one that came up. It's a new one. It's really beautiful, and it's called Time. And what stood out for me was, one, her beautiful face, right? She just seems at peace. There's a sense of knowing. There's wisdom with the owl. Her heart chakra is it almost seems like it's bleeding through. Her hand, the movements of her hand, there's this night and day, like if she's kind of like bringing it together, like there's just a balance of it, right? There's a balance of it, but then at the same time, it's kind of depicting the night kind of going away in the past, so moving towards the left side, and then the right side is more of embracing of the sun and this sense of renewal and birth, creativity almost. So that's what stood out for me. Let me tell you how insightful this oracle deck is. And I don't know, I can't speak for all of the other ones. I haven't seen. I mean, I want to buy more. After reading this one, I'm just blown away. I'm blown away with divine timing and things being timeless. Because it's really, I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's, I don't know, like it's, so maybe I should just read it. So it says, earthly meaning, bitterness or frustration over plans gone awry, feeling it is too late, that you have missed out, or that things are not happening quickly enough. Comparisons lead to a sense of failure or lack of joy. Pinning for youth or lamenting time lost through unwise choices. Set a priority or release yourself from anxiety by weighing up what will really matter in a week, a year, or a decade. So that's the earthly meaning. The spiritual meaning says, feelings, memories, and emotions rise and fall in the ocean of your heart, like flotsam. I don't know what that means. They are surrendered to the shores of consciousness. A space clears and fills with light. The ocean in your heart is but a drop in the waters of creation, beyond the boundaries of time and space. Immersed, weightless, let go, be free. The one that really tugged at my heart was this insight one. So it has 3: earthly meaning, spiritual meaning, and then insight. I mean, talk about like mind-blowing insight. Wow. It says, our beautiful planet is timeless. Earth does not know what day or millennium it is. The calendar we follow means nothing to her. The calendar you follow is but one way of capturing the passing of time. It is a construct, a filter through which we perceive our age or measure our progress through life. The sunrise doesn't wait for an alarm to ring. Life isn't measured by ticks and talks. How old would you be if you didn't know your age? If there was no such thing as too early, too late, or one day, would it change how you see yourself? There are no expectations of where you should be right now. No milestones, no losing, no winning, any race. Time cannot impede the turning of the tide, the changing of a season, or the birthing of a star. Outside of time, this moment is forever. Forever is now. The illusion is lost. Be whole, be present, be timeless. Right? Like it just, this whole experience of embracing taboo stuff that I grew up with, the devil stuff that I grew up with, is, I mean, how beautifully written that is, and how it really changes, you know, your perspective on how to look at life, how to look, you know, how to be grateful for these challenges, for these tower moments, right? Whatever they may look like, whatever resonates, and you know, because we can often, and Pema talks about it, I've shared her book before, Welcome, the Unwelcome. She actually talks about it, about labels and how we live our lives through labels. You know, it causes this mental, emotional pushing and pulling of our opinions. And, you know, as helpful as it is to have a label, it's also not helpful, right? Because that's where these constructs are created, where they're on too much of an extreme, like to-do lists. Who told, someone shared that. I heard it somewhere, where to-do lists are very future oriented, right? And you feel good checking off this list. I created a list last night, like a schedule, to try to maintain some sort of balance for myself, right? Because I was leaning towards one extreme. And so it serves a purpose. It's helpful, but at the same time, we have to be aware of when we become too fixated on those labels, or when we become too fixated on these deadlines, right? Or when these events that are, you know, presented to us occur. And I was really hung up on that yesterday. I was really hung up on having missed the mark, you know, having messed up my future, having caused this ongoing delay of what I want to see and to, you know, develop or come to fruition. And this really opened my eyes about this concept of being timeless, right? Just enjoying the moment, being present. Not to say that I'm neglecting my to-do list. It's just, again, finding that balance. And speaking of balance, the synchronicities have been showing up, but they've been showing up in like the most random and odd times. Like it's not like before, where it was very clear, that it was, I was, you know, being distracted, or I was, you know, going to make a wrong choice, or imbalance. Like, it's not clear anymore, because I feel like it's just kind of showing up at random times. Like, I was brushing my teeth and the imbalance came up. I'm like, well, I'm just brushing my teeth, right? That's supposed to be a good thing. But so it's I'm a little confused as to what it's meaning now, if it means anything at all, right? Someone said I was gonna go through the void. But I thought the void, my understanding of that was that I was going to be disconnected from everything and that I would be left to my own intuition. But the meditation is working. Like I feel at peace. I feel like I'm connecting with my spirit guides. I'm feeling reassured in that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it means. And so, but this whole timeless concept it really resonated with me today, and I stopped listening to the morning messages from MJ. I think the only one I listened to was Chris, and only because he from Middle Pond, because he only selects a few cards. It's only a few cards that he reads from, which actually were different. I think the only one that matched today was the heart one. And then he talked about a job opportunity that actually did come up today and that I do plan on taking, which means a little bit more work, but I have a goal, and I you know, traveling is in my future. I really need to work on whatever I need to work on to make that happen. But I really appreciated this card today. I definitely did. For sure. For sure. So, yeah. Timeless. Living in the past, present, and future all at once. I hope you find a way to balance your life, whatever you may be going through. But yeah, that was it. I'll see you guys later.